Go. Number 1, we have the square root of 2r plus 10 equals the square root of 1 minus r. You're asked to solve the equation, which means isolate the variable. Get r by itself. Well, what's the first step to do that? Right, we need to get rid of the square root. So we square it, which is convenient for us in this problem because it tears it down. And if you square that side, you have to square this side, which also tears that one down, leaving you 2r plus 10 equal to 1 minus r. And if it helps you, you could go ahead and write a 1 beside that. Now what do I need to do? Okay, we could do that. You can actually start this 4 different ways. Okay, you could subtract 2r, you could add 1r, you could subtract 10, or you could subtract 1. You're going to get the right answer as long as you do the rest of it correct. So subtract 10, and then you would subtract 10 from the 1. So now those cancel. On the left, I'm left with 2r. On the right, what am I left with? Negative 9 minus 1r, correct? Because 1 minus 10 is negative 9, and then minus 1r. Now I only have one choice. What do I have to do? I have to now add the 1r over to join the 2r. So now the left side becomes 3r, and on the right side I have negative 9. So the last step to isolate r is divide by 3, so r equals negative 3, which is choice D. Okay? Let's check it just to make sure it works. Pay attention. If I plug in a negative 3 on this side, what's 2 times negative 3? And what's negative 6 plus 10? And isn't the square root of 4 going to be 2? So when I plug in a negative 3 right there and work it all out, I get a positive 2. If I plug in a negative 3 into this r, what's 1 minus negative 3? Guys, what's 1 minus a negative? Positive, so doesn't that just become a 4 as well? Yeah. And the square root of 4 is 2. So that lets me know negative 3 is the right answer because when plugged in, it created a true statement. 2 equals 2. So D is good. Alright, number 2. Same kind of problem. What do I do first? Square it to get rid of this square root. But if you square one side, you must square the other, and that works out nicely for us with this problem because it gets rid of that square root as well. Now on the left, I have 3x minus 12, and on the right, I have 8 minus x, and for some of you, it will help you to go ahead and write the 1 right there. Not everybody needs that, but some people it helps to see the 1. So now what do I do? Or what can I do? Right, we could add 12. Or you could have, right. Okay, so now 3x equals what? 20 minus 1x. Now what do I do? Add the 1x to the other side so it can join up with the 3x because they're like terms. And now I have what equals what? Correct. And so the last step is divide by the 4 to cancel it out. And so x equals 5, which is C. Okay, let's check it. If I plug in 5 right here, what's 3 times 5? And what's 15 minus 12? 3. So don't you end up with the square root of 3?
Yeah.
And you don't have to you don't have to actually square root that because it's going to be a decimal. Over here, if I plug in a 5, what's 8 minus 5? And so isn't that the square root of 3 under there as well? And square root of 3 equals square root of 3 is a true statement, so that's good. Now, if you don't know how to do any of this algebra, which you should because this algebra down here is algebra 1. Can't you still go through each answer choice and plug in each one until you find the one that works? But honestly, I think that would take longer than just doing the algebra because this algebra is so easy. Okay, number 3. You're going to have on the test 2 questions that are cube roots. And they're going to be free response, no multiple choice. So with this one, what do I need to do first? Correct. This 3 is not trapped up under the root, so I can go ahead and add it over. So now the cube root of 5x plus 2 equals 3. Now, on this side, everything else is trapped up under, so I need to tear it down. And how do I tear it down? Cube it, which means you have to cube this side. Right, so now on the left, I have just 5x plus 2, and on the right I have 27, and now you have just an easy two-step equation. What do? Right, 5x now equals 25, and so the last step is divide by 5, so x equals 5. Okay, let's check it. Okay, to check it for this one, I'm going to use the calculator since it's a cube root. Alright, how do I type in a cube root in the calculator? Math 4. And then look, 5x. But in the x place, I'm saying it's 5. So I'm going to put 5 in parentheses in the x place. Then plus 2. Then I need to go outside of the root to type in the minus 3. And if 5 is indeed the right answer for x, what will I get when I hit enter? 0. And I did. So that means 5 is a good answer. Alright, number 4. What should I do first? Correct. So now the cube root of 2x plus 4 equals 4. No, you get 64. Okay, so 2x plus 4 equals 4 cubed, which is 64. Then what do? You get what? 30. Okay, now let's check to make sure 30 is good. Okay. Yeah, if you go to the calculator and you just start typing it in. So to type in that cube root, you do math 4, and then you type in the 2. But then in the x place, we're saying x is 30, and you put that in parentheses. Okay, anytime you're plugging in a number for x, you put the number in parentheses, and then plus 4, and then go outside of the root and hit minus 4. And so if 30 is right, what should I get? 0, because it says it equals 0. So that's good. The next one. Okay, number 5. Solve the equation, choose all that apply. Okay, well for this one, what would you need to do first? Right, we need to get rid of the square root, and to get rid of a square root, you square it, which means you also have to square this side. So on the left, the square root and the squared cancel each other out, leaving just 24 minus 2x. But on the right, we now have an x squared. So this is different than the ones we just worked. All 3 terms are different types of terms. You have a constant, you have an x to the first, and you have an x to the second. When they're all different, what do you have to do? Correct. Move them all to the same side as the x squared and set it equal to 0. So, to move this 2x over to this side, you would have to add it over. And to move the 24 over, you would have to subtract it over. So now we move those over using inverse operations, so now this side equals 0, which you could have put down there, it doesn't matter. Now that it looks like this, what will we do? Factor, or if you don't know how to factor, what's your other option? Graph it and see where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, what are the factors that multiply to negative 24 and add to 2? I'm going to go with negative 4 and positive 6, right? Because 6 minus 4 is 2. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. But that means the final answers are actually, and isn't that the 2 places that would have crossed the x-axis, positive 4 and negative 6? Okay, but look at our answers. We have no solution, which we know is wrong because we just got a solution. We have a 4, which we have. We have a 4 and a 6, which is wrong because we didn't get a positive 6. And then we have a negative 6 as extraneous. So what do we have to do? Right. You need to check and see if negative 6 is extraneous. So how do you do that? Plug it in. So wouldn't negative 6 go right here? and then negative 6 would go over here. But think about it. You don't even really have to plug it in over here, because are you ever going to square root something and get a negative answer? No. So that lets me know right away negative 6 is extraneous, but positive 4 is a good one. So you have to circle both, and it's like that on the test. Anytime it says choose all that apply, you probably need to be looking to circle more than one answer. Okay? All right, number 6. Yeah. Well, you remember, you just click them. It'll count it wrong if you don't do them all. Okay? That's why we did it like that on the review sheet, so you're prepared and you know to look for it. It should match up the same pretty much. Now on the test tomorrow, remember Friday they're scrambled, so year 6 might not be like this 6, but there is a question on there that will represent this question. Okay, number 6. 4r equals 4 times the square root of 18 plus 7r. An extraneous solution exists for this radical equation. Which of the following is the extraneous solution? So what do you think you got to do? Okay, first we got to solve it. So 4r equals 4 square root of 18 plus 7r. So like Kennedy said, this 4 is outside of the root. It's not trapped up under, so you can go ahead and move it to the other side by dividing it. Those cancel and those cancel, because 4 over 4 is 1. So now you have 1r equals the square root of 18 plus 7r. So now what do? I need to get rid of the square root, so I square it, and it'll get rid of it. But if you square one side, you square the other. So now this becomes r squared equals 18 plus 7r. Now, what do we have to do? Get them all to one side, because all three terms are different. So, when I get them all to one side, what will it look like? Correct. To move the 18 over, it would have had to have been subtracted. And to move the 7r, it would have had to have been subtracted. So both of them ended up with a minus sign. Now what can I do? I can factor it, or if you don't know how to factor, you could graph it. Now keep in mind, when you graph it, those places where it crosses the x-axis, those are the final solutions. Okay, you don't change the signs. Where it crosses the x-axis is the final solutions. When you factor it, the factors have to change their signs for the final solutions. So what are the factors that multiply to negative 18 and add to negative 7? Negative 9 and positive 2, which means it would have crossed the x-axis at 9 and negative 2. Okay, so which of the following are extraneous? Well, negative 8 is obviously out, so cross out C. Negative 9 is out. So we just need to decide out of 9 and negative 2, which one of these is extraneous. Okay? Yeah, I would definitely, to save time, start by checking your negative number first. Because look, on this side, if you replace r with a negative 2, won't this become a negative 8? And then you'll have equals 4 square root of 18 plus 7 times negative 2, which is negative 14. What's 18 minus 14? 4. And what's the square root of 4? 2 times 4 is 8, not negative 8, so negative 2 was our extraneous, so D is the right answer. Okay, we'll stop there and continue working on these tomorrow. Don't forget, pink sheets are due tomorrow, so I'll be doing late stamps for the first 5 minutes.